I did not even think about that. Okay, at the very least, there's Victorious, because that is like that.
That's at the same time period.
Yeah, because then Sam and Cat happen and stuff like that.
Follow-up question.
Okay.
That boxer in iCarly is played by Victoria Justice. Victoria Justice also plays Tori.
How do you know this? How do you know this?
We watched this at the same time, and I was a year older, and I remember better.
Hello, and welcome back to the 5th episode of Bleat This. I am back. I appreciate our good friend Connor Lydon for taking over last week's episode, or I believe that was 2 weeks ago now. Yeah. But your one of your co-hosts, Luke Guilday, is back, and I'm joined by my fellow co-host.
Yeah, Hickey, back again from Italy.
Italy? And
that's where I went.
How was that?
It was a lot of fun. Some of the Italian people were very surprised that I could speak Italian.
Well, that's good.
I asked one of them, cosa significa? I forget the word. Mm-hmm. And he answered in English. And then later I asked the same guy, di dove sei?
And he was
you speak Italian.
He was shocked.
And then I got to say my favorite sentence, the one that I'm best at. Io studio italiano all'Università di Westchester.
That's beautiful.
I practiced that.
That's beautiful. And we're back from our spring break, so we're back to give you guys more content. On this week's episode, we're going to be talking about which TV show, which universe of that TV show you would like to be stuck in and live in forever. Now, Ty and I, like we did with the Apocalypse episode and the cartoon characters episode, we talked to each other about what our idea was going to be, but we didn't obviously go into grave detail about it. But I am on the side of living in the iCarly universe.
I would love to live in the Star Trek universe.
And that's what we're going to be talking about today. And let us know in the comments what universe you would like to live in. And let us know as well of who you think had the better argument in this case. Now, as always, I would like my dear darling opponent over here to start things up for us. So why would you like to live in the Star Trek universe?
That's so kind of you, Luke, especially because I tried to get rid of you. And you still came back.
You just always found a way to get back, huh?
Find a way to come back. I always come back or something like that, however that goes. Yes, the Star Trek universe. I love Star Trek. It's incredible. It's wonderful. Now, do not think that I would be the one that's like doing the fighting when they do that stuff. Mm-hmm. I do not want to be part of the Starfleet military. I want to be part of the Starfleet exploratory studies part of Star Trek. I want to go out and to go boldly where no man has gone before. That's a quote.
So
Jim Kirk.
I've watched. I know you're referring to the show. Yes.
The show and the movies take place in the same universe.
Okay.
Except for the alternate ones with Chris Pine. Those ones aren't real.
Oh, okay.
That's a different alternative universe. I'm talking about the original Star Trek.
Okay.
All of the current shows and movies, with the exception of the ones with Chris Pine.
No. You got this. You can do this. Go on. Chris
Pine.
There you go.
All of those outside of the Chris Pine movies are in the same universe. Mm-hmm. Technically, the Chris Pine movies are in the same universe, but they're explicitly an alternative reality because of some time travel shenanigans that happened. That when the people that came from the future went into the past, they immediately did something that irrevocably changed the timeline and made it split off from the typical. Mm. So technically the same universe, but I'm not living in the alternate one. I'm living in the original.
See, I'm already I'm just curious to what you're going to go into detail in because I've watched the movie, like Star Trek, like the movie.
With Chris Pine?
Yeah, with Chris Pine. Of course.
Well,
of course with Chris Pine.
There's 8 of the original movies with William Shatner and is that his name?
Yeah, William Shatner.
Yeah, William Shatner and Leonard Nimoy.
Oh, okay. I cannot remember which one it was. I watched it God, that must have been 7 years ago. It's been a long, long while. But I'm just curious, mainly because that all sounds pretty complicated, whereas I'm just pretty much living in the 2010s again. like late 2000s, early 2010s. Because and I should make it clear as well with mine, like, I'm just doing iCarly, like, the initial show, not the remake, because I feel like it was a running gag with the remake that, like, everyone knew it was going to suck, or that it wasn't going to live up to the hype of the initial show. And I think that can be said about most remakes, that it's just that nostalgia kick, and then it doesn't go all the way. But yeah, I'm just exclusively looking at the just the first initial show. But I'm interrupting. You had a point you were making. Continue.
I dream of living the Star Trek universe on a regular basis. I would love to go to other planets to discover what is out there. Mm-hmm. I feel like I talk about this a lot. I love linguistics. I love languages. I speak at least 3 languages now. I can confidently say 3. You will say the other ones. Confident in 3. Don't drop me in France. I won't do well.
I will not know where I am or how to get out.
I know. But my French is so bad. So I love languages. Yeah. And in Star Trek, everybody speaks basically English, but that could just be the movie thing and that be the lingua franca of the universe. But there's also the Klingons have their own language. The Vulcans have their own language. Like, there's explicitly a variation of, like, Xeno languages throughout the universe, and I would love to learn those. I will not currently learn Klingon. I refuse to do it because it's a fake language. But if it was a real language, I would absolutely learn it because I could talk to real people. Well, no, not people because they're Klingon. Real Klingons. But I would love to do that and be in that linguistic aspect of the exploration, and like that just I love that so much.
What would your day-to-day look like? So, okay, I think we should preface, like, imagine this. All right, you're sitting at home, you're watching TV, you're Star Trek the show, it's on, it's live, it's on air.
Do I get to pick which specific Star Trek show?
Yeah, I would say so, yeah. Yeah, you could
That's
pick.
Such a hard choice.
There's so many.
They're all so good.
You're watching your favorite one, and you're sitting there, you're clapping your hands, you're going, yay, because you're so excited for your favorite show. And then out of nowhere, you see the remote start to shake, and you're like, well, my remote doesn't do that normally. But then the entire room's shaking, and the TV, it's getting all distorted, all glitchy. You're like, what the heck's going on here? And then you start getting, like, closer and closer, like you're not moving your body, you're getting closer to the TV, and you're like, what's happening? And then you get sucked into the TV, right? And you're there. You're there in the show now. What would the day-to-day look like? Sorry, that was a lot I just said. I really wanted to paint a picture.
Am I being sucked into the universe and now I have to go to Starfleet Academy if I want to be a part of the show, or do I show up and I already am, like, have a rank? Like, I'm an ensign.
I mean, I guess it kind of depends. Like, in the show, like, what is it? The Academy? What is it called?
Starfleet Academy.
Starfleet Academy. Like, do they have a part of the show or one of the shows that, like, is just that? Or, like, it depends on what show you're picking, I guess. So.
In that case, then I would just show up. There is a Starfleet Academy show. It has not come out yet.
Oh, okay.
It is, like, in production.
And it's going to be called Star Trek High, and then they're going to make Star Trek High the musical, school.
No, they're doing the whole Star Wars thing where it's Star Trek : Starfleet Academy. It's like my favorite video game ever, Star Wars TM Jedi Fallen Order, where there are so many colons and spaces and TMs, and it's just long as anything.
Day to day, you're in the actual, you're not at the academy. You have all that knowledge, I guess. But at the same time, think about it this way. You probably have all of the memories, all the knowledge of actual real life here. It's still you, you know? So, like, all of that hasn't changed. You're still yourself.
Yeah. I've decided I don't want to be my favorite Star Trek show, the original series. I want to be in the next generation.
Okay.
Because my favorite show is the original series, but there's a special place in my heart for Data, and to be Data's friend would be pretty sick. And that's obviously also considered one of the best like series is The Next Generation. And it influenced the following TV shows almost more than the original series did. Worf's pretty cool. I love he's the head security officer in The Next Generation. He loses just about every single fight. And yet he's the head security officer. It's totally because plot-wise, the person comes in and like beats up the strongest guy, but then it turns out every single episode the strongest guy gets beat up. It's like he keeps losing. Yeah, but that's a good one.
So
I've decided.
So you wake up. So you wake up, and then you're in this world, and then you have a schedule. There's a regiment, man. You got to follow it. What do you do?
I would love to have Uhura's job.
What is that?
She is the communications officer. So in the original series, that's where Uhura's from. She is a space secretary.
Oh, okay.
But of course, that was the 60s, and it was very influential that this black woman was very prominent member of this crew, and her and Kirk shared the first interracial kiss on screen for television. And she was from Africa, and you know the original Star Trek very much represented the entire world and stuff like that. Like they had Sulu and they had Uhura and they had Chekhov, and people joked like America's bossing everybody around while everyone else does the actual work. But you can see stuff with that.
Oh, that's cool.
Yes. So I would like that job where I'm the one communicating with others and doing that, because my concentration for my major is strategic communication.
Yeah, it's this.
What is Uhura's job if not space public relations?
If not being a strategist in a lot of ways and communicating effectively.
Yeah, I would love to do her job. And she does not, at least, like again, this would be in The Next Generation. I would love to do a lot, like go to the ground and speak to those people to learn the languages like that. That would be the ideal. And then like on the ship, I'm the communicator person and translate whenever we need translation. I would love that. I love that idea. So I'd probably wake up and do my shift because I'm bad at terms. I don't know if it's the bridge or the cockpit. I want to say it's the bridge because it's
of like a ship.
Of the spaceship.
I guess it would be.
Because the cockpit is a plane thing.
I guess technically it would be a cockpit. Yeah, I feel like it would have to be.
Yeah, but space travel tends to follow the naval terms.
Oh.
Spaceship.
Really?
Astronaut.
Oh, okay. I never thought of it like that, actually.
Yeah, like when we send up our like what are they called? Rockets.
That was actually true terror. Just what are they called?
But it tends to follow like naval patterns. In fact, in Star Trek, all of the ships are named in typical naval fashion. USS Enterprise.
Oh, okay.
That's the one I can think of off the top of my head. But luckily for us, I actually, where is it? I should have one of my tabs, one of my many, many tabs, is a list of all of the ships in Star Trek.
Oh, wow.
How
many are there?
Oh, a lot.
Oh.
I've looked this up 3 times in the past 3 days now. So I'd probably be working the bridge for most of the day. I don't know how long the shifts are. I do not remember. That might have been explicitly said in the show, but it's not that important.
Yeah.
So on my shift, I'd probably be working in the bridge because that's where that's where the command staff is, including the captain, first. What's he called? The first man. It's not the first mate. It's first officer. First officer, captain, pilots, communication people.
The right-hand man.
The right-hand man. Okay. In the original series, there's 8 listed ships. Now, the USS Enterprise is the one that is the main ship, and the others are just other known ships throughout the series. In The Next Generation, there's 4 listed ships. All of them so far USS. There's 10. 2 are marked as removed, so I don't know what's up. So maybe 9. And only one of them is in IKS instead of a USS.
Okay.
Not sure what that means.
Well, I would say you seem very well equipped with, if you were to get stuck into this world, I feel like you would adapt very quickly. Now, taking an exact full 180, this time I'm watching television. Shocking, I know.
You never do that.
I know. I'm watching Severance. I don't want to go. I'm not going to go into a lot of detail about it, but it is taking up a lot of my time. Like it is taking a lot of my time. But anyways,
Yeah.
I'm watching iCarly, which I haven't done in probably 10 years maybe. And I'm sitting there and I get warped into this world. I'm in 8th grade again, but I have
Oh God.
So
My freshman year of high school.
already we're off to a bit of a rocky start. We're back in middle school.
You're 14.
You're a child. But there's so much. It's very familiar because it is just the same universe as this one, but in the 2010s, like late 2000s, early 2010s. I would say in this case, right, I'd imagine that it would be a situation where it's like I'm watching it. If I was watching it like now, as an almost 21-year-old, and then I get warped into the show, right, and then I'm back to being like I would assume 13 again, like being a kid, like I want to imagine, right, that because I still have all these memories, I can tell them that if they continue doing this show into COVID, it could skyrocket. They could profits, sales, business would be booming. If they continued their web series, if Carly and Sam Puckett kept doing their web series during the COVID time. But I'm sitting in there. I'm back in middle school, and I have to relive just, I guess, life in that sense again, of being in middle school, early high school. One of the things that I kind of thought about was if because this is the first like iCarly like show, like not the remake, like this kind of encompasses a lot of other shows because of it just being the United States in that era. So, like, Drake and Josh would be part of that universe. And so,
Question.
Yeah.
Not to interrupt you.
Yeah, no, go on.
Drake and Josh's little sister, Megan, is the same actress as Carly.
Wait, as...
Miranda Cosgrove plays Megan. And Miranda Cosgrove also plays Carly.
Oh.
Is there now, essentially, genetically, 2 Miranda Cosgroves?
I did not even think about that. Okay, at the very least, there's Victorious, because that is like that...
That's at the same time period.
Yeah, because then Sam and Cat happen and stuff like that.
Follow-up question.
Okay.
That boxer in iCarly is played by Victoria Justice. Victoria Justice also plays Tori.
How do you know this? How do you know this?
We watched this at the same time, and I was a year older, and I remember better.
So you were ready. You were watching this at that time, being like, I can't wait to meet.
Why is there 2 Victoria Justices in the iCarly universe?
You were ready to fight me years ago in this debate topic because you knew that I didn't even think about this.
Nickelodeon loves to put their favorite actors and actresses into multiple shows. That's the Amanda Bynes show.
Yeah.
The Amanda show is what led to Drake and Josh. Jake and Josh were both characters in the Amanda show. And that's what led to Drake and Josh being created, and Miranda Cosgrove was in that show, and I wonder if that influenced them putting her into iCarly, knowing her as an actress already on Nickelodeon. Same thing with Victoria Justice. I believe, didn't iCarly start before Victorious?
I have no idea.
Because then if she plays in iCarly and they're like, we know this actress, she's a good actress for what we want, well, let's put her in this show as the lead role, and now let's do a crossover. And
I'll be honest, I don't have necessarily a strong argument for iCarly because it is solely based on...
I know why you want to be there.
Because it is solely... Okay, we'll get to that point. But it's solely because of the idea that to pick that as my side of the debate is just a funny bit. And I love bits. So, but, okay. We'll get to that point. But, all right. let's talk about one of the important things that I find in it being that, like, okay, that, I would hope, right, that I could be friends with, like, Carly, Sam, Gibby, Freddie, like that group of four. Why?
Sam would beat the crap out of you.
No. I'm not kidding. I wrote in my notes, I think I would be very scared of Sam. Like, I'm not even kidding.
I think she would stop beating up Freddie to beat you up.
That's insane.
I think you would become...
I would be the new Freddie.
You would be the new Freddie.
I'd be the new Freddie. That's insane.
You would fit so well on their show, actually.
Yeah.
Freddie's the camera guy. You would definitely be the editor guy.
Yeah, I'd be the editor guy that gets pranked and like gets wedgied by Sam Puckett. But in any case, my next point, product placement. Now you might be asking, Luke, what could you possibly be referring to about product placement? And it gets me every time. The last episode, I promise you, at the very end is going to have a compilation of you doing that at the very end of the episode, or it's going to be a short.
It could be a short.
It's going to be a short. Every time
Ty's freak.
Every time Ty stares at Luke. One of the big things, and this is more so Victorious, not iCarly, but one of the things I saw, or maybe it was an iCarly, I don't think so. But
I'm sure I'll know if you say it.
Blue Dog Soda. Because
Is Sam and Cat being added?
Yeah.
Okay, because I remember the Blue Dog Soda episode of Sam and Cat.
That's
was essentially
what it was. Sam and Cat, yeah.
The Sam and Cat, the Blue Dog Soda.
Yeah.
And the Walter White of it all.
Yeah.
I love that.
The Blue Dog Soda, that was their version of a Shirley Temple, I'd like to think.
I'd like to think it was Dr. Pepper. Because that's how much I care about Dr. Pepper.
And they did care a lot about Blue Dog Soda.
They made it in
That is true. Honestly, now that's... I can't fault that. You make a very valid point. Okay, it is their equivalent of Dr. Pepper to the point where they were literally having like an illegal
Blue Dog Soda lab.
That's
in the safe hidden in their closet. In their bedroom of the apartment that they legally couldn't be in because it was the Nona's apartment and not their apartment.
The fact that you know this more about me is slightly scary for my side of things, but still, Blue Dog Soda.
I didn't realize how much I knew about this until now.
And that's okay because
it's not.
Yes, it is. It's helping your side. It's helping your side.
At the cost, though.
At the cost of being cringe.
I've just outed myself as someone that knows this much about the iCarly cinematic universe.
Oh, that's amazing. Okay, you might not. This is, I feel like, a bit more unique because I guess it would have been on Victorious. Wasn't there an episode where it was like a crossover between iCarly and Victorious? That one surfing simulator video game. I think that. Yeah. Do you know how fun that would be to have that? And if you fail, it flings you into a window. It flings you into a window and outside into a pool. Now, another thing I thought about. I want to save the best one for last because you know which one I'm referring to. But one thing that I really thought about was just in general going to the Groovy Smoothie because I would love to have.
Also, the whole thing.
I would love to have a conversation with Tebow. I would love to meet Tebow so badly. Honest to God, peak character design is Tebow. You cannot get better than Tebow. I would just love to meet him, try a smoothie, and always have whatever was on that stick. And it was always something different. We also have classic Spencer's spaghetti tacos. Now, I think they're okay.
You can make them in real life.
Exactly. Which is why but here's the thing, is that I would want to present him with something that goes one step further. Lasagna tacos. And here's why, right? You've got the ground beef that you would maybe have in a normal beef taco. And you could put you get yourself some pasta ravioli noodles vegetables. You get some of that. You get some cheese. You get some ricotta cheese. You get a bit of marinara on that. Get a hard shell taco. Spaghetti tacos, it's not enough. There needs to be more. I think it's okay. But it can be improved upon. And I think me being in this show, I would have a lot to offer. I have a lot to say about the spaghetti taco, and I think I could help Spencer. And who knows? Maybe he'd make a profit from it.
You would teach him how to do something new, and then he would make it, and it would catch fire.
Okay.
The only thing he can make that doesn't catch fire is spaghetti tacos.
I feel like, though, I feel like it would be one of those things, though, where it's like he is plot B. He is the side plot, and he would spend an entire episode trying to perfect it, and then at the very end, he does, right? But then he spills it by accident. That's what would happen. But at the very least, at the very end of the episode, he would know how to do it properly next time. And
it has to catch fire at some point.
It probably.
That's the inevitability of Spencer.
I think it would happen beginning to middle of the episode. But towards the end, it wouldn't catch on fire. It doesn't catch on fire like every single time. Like he would be able to correct his mistakes, and then it wouldn't catch on fire.
Looking to find a roommate to live off campus with next semester? Attend one of the 3 off-campus roommate fairs. This opportunity allows students to meet other students who are looking to find off-campus roommates. The fairs will be held on March 25th, April 8th, April 22nd, from 3 p.m. to 4:30 p.m. in the Psych Student Union TV Lounge. Please RSVP on Ram Connect prior to coming to the fair. Whether you are looking for one person or a group to live with, the Off-Campus Roommate Fair is a great place to find others to connect with. We hope to see you there. For information, please email occs@wcupa.edu. I think your biggest op in iCarly, I want to see what your answer will be. What would you do about Neville? Like, Neville's out to get the iCarly gag ever since Carly rejected him 3 times or whatever because he can't, no means no. I wasn't looking at the camera. No means no.
I was not serious.
I was looking at myself. And he didn't say it. And he's a freak. What would you do to counter that guy?
Neville is...
He's also rich.
He is a crazy antagonist of this beautiful series. I don't know. I feel like... Okay, I wouldn't actually do this, but part of me wanted to say spread misinformation, but I wouldn't actually do that.
I've never spread information in my life. Just read my shirt.
I've never done that.
My shirt says I've never spread misinformation ever. I've never in my life spread misinformation, and it says so on my shirt.
Because wasn't there something that... there had to be something, right, that finally got him, right? Like, didn't he get his just desserts at some point?
He did get his just desserts. He came crying to the iCarly group, and they were sad for him and helped him, and he went right back to how he was before once he was back on his feet.
Yeah, but why was he crying initially?
He had shouted at a child in the store, and somebody videotaped it and put it online. Classic case of jerk gets canceled on the internet.
Yeah. So, okay. So, technically, okay. Now, hang on. So then, technically, we would just need to make sure that he gets canceled, I guess.
And then you can't help him. When they feel bad for him, you gotta stop them.
Yeah, no, exactly. Okay. I don't have to do much of anything. Here's what would happen. That episode would play as normal. I wouldn't have to interfere. He would have done that situation. He would have just kept doing that, and then he would have gotten canceled. And then when he would have gone crying to, Carly, Sam, and Freddie, and Gibby, I would have been like, guys, we need to seriously consider that we cannot, by any means, help out Neville. We cannot do that. We cannot do that because he's just going to, that's what he wants, right? He needs to be humbled. The product that could change an entire, not just an entire generation, not just an entire nation, but the entire world is my favorite and yours. the pear phone.
Luke finally gets a new phone.
Do you know how funny it would just be to be able to pull out? Look at this thing.
His phone is messed
My
up.
My phone is messed up. The screen is very bad.
He cannot charge it with a wire.
The case, even worse. I've been made fun of many times.
You're about to be made fun of again. That thing is a brick.
I would not be made fun of had this been in the condition it is, but as a pear phone.
Well, if everyone had a pear phone and that was the regular, you would still be made fun of.
I think that...
Do they even have pear phones in iCarly?
Yeah. Yes, they do.
They have pear products.
Yeah, they have pear products.
Yeah.
They have pear phones in iCarly. And I guess, okay, regardless, though, if it was still Victorious, because it's the same universe, I would still have a pear phone. Like, yeah, like, okay, I would like to think that... Well, Sam would absolutely make fun of me. No doubt in my mind, Sam would make fun of me for
Actually, I think Sam would be the reason your phone looked like that.
Probably.
I think in this universe, it wouldn't be your fault.
Yeah.
I think Sam would have dropped it out of the window.
Yeah, or, like, stepped on it and, like, crushed it or something.
Buttersock.
Yeah. Or buttersock. Or maybe hit it with a buttersock.
Argument for my side of things. If I show up to Star Trek, I also looked up communication officer in the 24th century, which is when the Next Generation takes place, tended to also double as tactical or operational people as well as being communication officers. I don't want to be a tactical officer. As I said, I don't want to be I don't want to be in the military.
Mm-hmm.
That's just glorified military. I don't want to do that. Mm. That's whatever. I'll be the operations officer. I kind of like cleaning up messes, and I am decently good at fixing things. Like I'm no engineer, but I almost was an engineer. Mm. So I think I'd have a good time as an operations officer where I just go around and I fix the broken things, and then I'm also communication officer when it's my turn. But as you know, this is the 24th century. We're in the 21st century. It's 300 years. And I know of pear phones existing in iCarly, and I wanted a pear phone. I could make a pear phone.
Exactly. And you wouldn't want to have an Apple phone because you'd have a pear phone and you'd be like, that's funny. I want that. Here's the thing, right? I that's the thing is like, I wouldn't have to go all that way to do that. I could be right there here on Earth. I'm afraid of space, so I wouldn't want to go in space.
In that universe, the planets are kind of like countries. And I would assume that that's how people view it, of it's just like different countries at this point, and in like the difference of how far away it is. So I don't think that I would get as homesick or any more homesick than I was when I just left the country. Or the past times I've like gone far away from home, you know, like it wouldn't be this mind blowing thing. It'd be normal. It'd be like, oh yeah, my brother graduated the academy and he's off in the Andromeda's galaxy.
He's off in Uranus.
Like it'd be a normal thing there.
And also pause real quick. If I get a single comment saying it's actually Uranus, hey, I get it. We all like to have a joke from time to time. Not here. We don't make jokes here, and I want to make that very clear, all right? Just because you see Uranus and think to yourself, oh, that's going to be a comment. That's going to be something funny. We call it Uranus here. We stay informed.
Comment your opinion on the pronunciation of Uranus versus Uranus.
But regardless, like, I think because, I mean, to be fair, I don't think that would necessarily help me better because I like, if we're thinking about it now, like, going, like, country to country, like how you did going to Italy, like, on an air, you know, going on an airplane and stuff like that, like, going overseas is also very scary for me and stuff like that. Like,
I'm going to take you to Taiwan with me. It would be so quick to go to Taiwan. It'd be so easy because they got the transporters that could transport me from here to Taiwan like that.
Oh, well that...
International travel is nothing.
Oh, well why didn't you say that then?
Beam me up, Scotty.
Yeah, I could have had Scotty beam me up and then I would have gotten there.
Well, no, because Scotty's not in the 24th century, if we're picking that. Scotty's in the 20...
Where did he go?
So
why did you tell me that
do
Scotty
this
wouldn't be
thing
there?
where they die when they get old.
And you're telling me Scotty was not a part of the 24th century? What's even the point of living in the Star Trek universe anymore if I can't even say hi to Scotty? I think the answer is pretty clear here. I was on board. I was on board until you told me that Scotty was not there.
Yeah, Scotty's about 200 years prior. 100 years prior. I think it would be really cool to talk to aliens as well. Like, the Vulcans are pretty cool. Mm-hmm. They're using a lot of ethical arguments, philosophical arguments, as an example of a non-human sentient being, because most people understand Star Trek enough that they understand what a Vulcan is. But yeah, they have extremely advanced medical equipment that would make my life so much easier. And they would fix my brain damage, because Chekhov got a really bad head injury once that the doctors in 1980s medicine were like, they don't think he's going to make it. And he fixed him beep, beep, fixed.
Jesus.
So
how much
if that's 200 years prior to when I'm going there.
What is currency? Is it
none?
None?
They're beyond that. At least in the original series.
Damn.
They were like, oh, you're still doing that stuff, because they were beyond it at that point.
Huh.
But that might have just been the original series whimsy. I don't quite remember if it was ever explicitly mentioned in The Next Generation. I'm about to rewatch it. It's been a bit, but I love it.
Well, that's cool. I mean, here's the thing, is that I think you have a very valid reasoning of, you go to see space, you see all these different planets, and it's so many years into the future. I just want a different phone and a soda. That's kind of all I want. But
here's a question I pose to you.
Sure.
If I'm thrown into Star Trek, am I guaranteed to be a human or one of the aliens?
I don't know. I mean, I would probably...
I don't want to be a Klingon.
I would probably say you would more than likely be a human.
That's fair, because I pose that excited, and then I couldn't think of an alien I would want to be.
I would probably
I
say
love the
you'd
Vulcans.
be a human.
I could not be a Vulcan. Their pure logic thing is not a genetic thing, like people misunderstand it to be. It is a philosophical thing. I got anger issues. I try very hard to not be angry all the time, and I'm mostly successful. I would not be a good Vulcan. I'd use the emotions. I'd fly off the handle. It wouldn't go well.
I think for the sake of the argument, because since I would be a human, I think it's only fair that you would also stay.
Well, you should have picked somewhere that doesn't have humans if you wanted to not be a human.
Yeah, but then I couldn't have a paraphone, could I?
Yes, you could.
No.
Star Trek is advanced. You could have a paraphone.
You don't know that they have that. You don't know that just because they have the technology to make it doesn't inherently mean that they will have it. Is what I'm saying.
Well, but first thing I'm doing in the Star Trek universe, one, figuring out where to go and what to do, what my jobs are. But the second, making a paraphone. I will make friends with an engineer. I will make friends with them, and I will ask them to make me a paraphone, which will be nothing to them because of how advanced the technology is.
Would you actually want a paraphone? Or are you just saying that for the sake of the argument?
I haven't thought much about paraphones, but I know younger me definitely wanted one.
Fair enough.
And this is more for if you wanted to have a paraphone, you could totally have a paraphone in Star Trek.
Okay. I mean,
if you were to come with me, handcuff myself to you, drag you with me.
I mean, here's the thing, right? Maybe I'll come with you to Star Trek, or alternatively, maybe you can come with me to iCarly.
Yeah, me and Sam cage fight.
That, or we could start our own web series, kind of like what we're doing now.
Tyson.
And it all... Tyson.
Your ass would not be in front of the camera. Don't lie to me.
That's actually really funny. It would be you and Connor.
Yes,
it would be you and Connor. Yeah. I'm gonna send this to him.
You'd be Freddie.
Yeah. Connor would be Carly. You would be Sam.
No,
I would be Freddie.
Yeah, that would be accurate.
All right, I think that's where we're going to wrap up this episode for today. Let us know in the comments below who you think had the better argument, of if you think that we should all be going into the iCarly universe, getting our paraphones, drinking our Blue Dog soda, or going into the Star Trek universe, talking to some aliens, being in the 24th century.
Or whichever television show you choose to be in.
Absolutely.
That ranges from the 22nd century to the 25th century of the current explored Star Trek universe.
Or let us know as well what other show you think you would be stuck in its universe. And with that, I think that's where we're going to end it here. Tune in next week, folks, for our next episode, and we'll see you then.